Hey, and welcome back to the channel and to the Ultimate Racing League. This is race 2 of our Saturday evening championship. We are at Road Atlanta in Georgia on the 2.5 mile road course. We've just witnessed race 1, in which we saw Osman totally dominate and have a very comfortable win. So it's a change of tyres, a quick slur petit, everybody back in the cars and back onto the track, and ready and raring to go for race 2. So we'll have a rundown of the grid and we'll see where everybody is. So race order is as they finished race 1. So Osman is on pole position, Derg is in second with Grasshopper just behind in third, Wayne G in fourth, Brian Moncani in fifth, Stealth in sixth, and what a great race those two had. Unforgiven in seventh. He will be looking to make up for the mistakes he made in race 1, which cost him a few positions. Bry in eighth. Had quite a spill early on in the race, never really recovered, so again he's going to be looking to make up some time and work his way through the pack. Phaser in ninth, Ruthless in 10th, with Pete in 11th, and I'm sure he will want to make up for the not great race he had in race 1. So all to play for then in race 2. So let's get this race underway as they go down the hill and through turn 12 across the line to start race 2. And Osman gets everybody underway with Derg in second now. It is only a short run to turn 1. And everybody just lining up. Having a look, nobody really making any moves yet. Always Unforgiven, I think it's thought he was going to make a move then. So everybody goes around turns 2 and then into the S's, which is 3, 4 and then 5 at the bottom of the hill. You can see everybody snaking their way through there. Always Brian the mechanic gets a little bit out of shape. Still on track though. Still facing the right way, but again that's cost him. He really just seemed to be struggling in that Lambo this evening as he gets alongside Rufus, also in the Lambo, and Rufus goes off onto the grass. I'm not sure if there was a slight touch there. We will go back and have a bit of a look as the two of them go side by side. No, definitely wasn't a touch there. I think it was just unfortunate. Ruthless just went a little bit too wide. But they are back onto the back straight. They're back up to the top. Osman looking to do what he did in race 1, and that is totally dominate. He's looking to get away from Derg, open up a bit of a gap so that he can just relax and run his race. Osman on the medium tyres for this race. Derg decided to go with the hard tyres, and he's coming under attack from Brian Moncani. Brian Moncani's gone through now. Brian is on the softs. He went with the mediums in the first race, so he's using the softs in race 2, and he's already putting them to work by getting past Derg. Now he really needs to get his foot down and get onto the back of Osman. Although Derg is still in there fighting away with Brian. Let's jump on board with Derg. And that's the view he's got. He's sticking to the back of that Porsche. He's got Grasshopper all over the back of him and Unforgiven. And it looks like Wayne G just behind them as we go into turn 6. Grasshopper trying to get up on the inside of Derg. We'll have a look, see what tyres he's on in a second. Everybody seems to get a good exit out of turn 7, so let's have a rundown of these tyres, shall we? Grasshopper, he's on the hard tyres as well, so Derg and Grasshopper going for the same tactics as Grasshopper gets into the slipstream of Derg in the GTR down the hill towards the chicane. Grasshopper just backs out at the last minute. Don't think he's going to get that done. Unforgiven in 5th. He's coming under attack from Wayne G. Unforgiven has gone with the soft tyres for race 2. Wayne G is on the hard, so Unforgiven should have the advantage going in and out of the corners. So Unforgiven again really needs to try and get past some of the guys in front of him to make the most of those tyres. But Wayne G sticking with him in 6th. He's on the hard tyres. Ruthless, he's also on the hard tyres. He's got Pete for company at the minute. Pete running the softs, so again he's going to be looking at trying to get past Ruthless and work his way up and through the pack. Stealth down in 9th, chose to go with the hard tyres for race 2. Then we've got Brian the mechanic, he's on the mediums. Already a couple of mistakes from him, which has put him all the way down in 10th. Maybe it's the car, he just can't get to grips with it. And then we've got Phaser, he's on the hards as well, and down in 11th now. Phaser's obviously had a bit of a moment as well, looking at the gap between himself and Brian the mechanic. So Phaser really in the wars in these opening races. But back up to the top then, Osman, well, desperately trying to get away. He has opened up quite a gap, hasn't he? And he really wants to get further away from Brian the mechanic, from Brian Moncani, sorry. Osman on the medium tyres, Brian on the softs. Well, Brian would love to get a lot closer to Osman, wouldn't he? And take the win. He can see him just ahead. Doesn't want to let him get too far away. I mean, the problem we've got with doing the replays is we can't see the time gap. Oh, Unforgiven has made his way up into 3rd. So apologies, we've missed that, and I can only guess that was down the back straight. But Unforgiven has moved up into 3rd, with Derg in 4th and Grasshopper in 5th. Those two on the hard tyres. Unforgiven then really taking advantage of the soft tyres he's got, but these three still in a tight race as Grasshopper tries to stay in the slipstream of Derg. Now he pulls out as they're going down towards the chicane, side by side for Grasshopper and Derg. Derg on the inside. Grasshopper, well, he's got nowhere to go, has he? He's got Unforgiven in front of him, and Unforgiven gets a little bit of a slide going, but manages to hold on to it. Unforgiven still keeps himself in 3rd position, with Derg in 4th and Grasshopper just behind. And Grasshopper and Derg having a proper fight it out. The P4, Grasshopper, I'm going to look up the inside again. This time it's Derg's time to be boxed in as Grasshopper gets through. Now Derg, he's going to come back at him, I'm sure. Unforgiven really isn't pulling away from these guys, and that's what he needs to do. He needs to get some distance between himself and Grasshopper and Derg. Now Derg just falling off the back of Grasshopper. Let's jump on board with Grasshopper. We can see Unforgiven now just starting to edge away, and that's what he needs to do. Grasshopper has got a mirror full of Derg, but has managed to get himself up into 4th. Remember that Grasshopper and Derg are both on the hard tyres, Unforgiven on the softs. Now Derg needs to, well, he's there somewhere. There's just a great big bar in the way, isn't there? So it's pointless looking behind us. So Grasshopper in 4th then. It does look like he's got a bit of a gap, couple of car lengths between himself and Derg. Unforgiven up into 3rd and just holding on to it. Doesn't seem to be pulling away from Grasshopper. Let's just see where Brian Moncani is in relationship to Osman. And I think the gap is maintained between those two at the minute. And if Unforgiven's not careful, he's be coming under attack from Grasshopper. Grasshopper really on a mission in race 2, and especially on the hard tyres as well. So he's having a fantastic race. As is Derg in 5th, he's still there. Wayne G also on the hard tyres in 6th. Oh, he went wide then, but as we mentioned in race 1, I think if the penalty system has been switched off, then going a little bit wide is not a major problem. Pete in 7th, he's having a much better race, isn't he? He's on the soft tyres now in the AMG, so he's having a much better race, and it looks like he's going to be taking P6 away from Wayne G. It is just an out and out drag race now between the Aston and the AMG, still side by side these two as they go down the hill towards the chicane, and I think Pete has just got himself in front. And he has, again, taking full advantage of the softer compound tyres. So Pete now up into 6th, and a much better race for him Wayne G drops down to 7th. Ruthless, he's in 8th. He's having his own little war with Stealth at the minute. Ruthless on the hard tyres and Stealth also on the hard tyres. So these two having a fantastic fight. As Stealth has a bit of a cheeky look up the inside. We are just gone by the 8.5 minute mark. So just over halfway of this race. Oh, as Ruthless gets himself, oh, he's in all sorts of a mess. That was so unlucky. He looked like he was having a great race with Stealth as they approach turn 1. We'll just follow him through this section. Stealth has a little bit of a look, but then pulls out of it. Nothing wrong with turn 1. Up and into the blind turn 2, and that's where it went wrong for Ruthless. He just couldn't get the car slowed down enough, and the spin, he will be absolutely furious with himself for that. And then I don't know why, he's just struggling to get going. Oops. Phaser down in 10. He really is struggling on those hard tyres. With Brian the mechanic down in 11th, he's not been his night at all. We do know he is a lot quicker than this, is Brian the mechanic. And maybe it's the car, he just can't get on with it. Maybe it's the track. But he's down in 11th, and it doesn't look like he's going to be improving that position. There's quite a bit of lag going on as well, so maybe that's contributing to it. I don't know, as he gets across the grass again. But back up at the other end, at the pointy bit, is Osman. Well, Brian Moncani, it does look like Brian Moncani has got a little bit closer to Osman. Is he close enough? The challenge for P1, well, we've got 5 minutes to do it. So we are looking, what, 3, maybe 4 laps? So Brian Moncani has definitely got closer to Osman, and he is going to be in his slipstream within the next, well, lap and a half, I would say. So we'll try and keep an eye on those two. Unforgiven is still in 3rd, with Grasshopper in 4th. Dirk just dropped off the pace a little bit in 5th. He's now coming under attack from Pete. So Pete having a fantastic second race. He's on the soft tyres as well, and yeah, he's really making them work for him. And I think it won't be long before he's challenging Dirk, maybe even at turn 1. As they exit turn 12, Pete is right underneath Dirk's car. Into turn 1 they go. And Pete just, I think, well, it looks like Pete's just sitting there now. He's just going to follow Dirk through the S's. He's probably waiting till they get onto the back straight, and then he can make his move. He's just got to get a little bit closer as they go through turn 5. Start the climb, and then this track seems to be very up and then down and then up and then down, and it is down towards turn 6 and 7. 2 separate turns, but treated as one. And there Pete pulls out from the slipstream of Dirk, or has he dropped back in again? He's just dropped back in again temporarily. I don't think it's going to be long. We're just going to stay with Pete to see if that AMG has got the beans to get past the BMW. Now Pete has pulled to the inside, but it doesn't look like he's close enough, or is he? Well, they are side by side going into the chicane, and Pete just gets it done. Just gets his nose in front of Dirk, and Dirk has to concede the position and drops to 6th position, although he's on the hard tyres, so he's still doing a great job. Wayne G in 7th, he's also on the hard. Stealth in 8th, with Ruthless in 9th. Then we've got Phaser, and then we've got Brian the mechanic. So back up to the top. We're just going to keep an eye on these two for the next few turns. Osman still leading this race, with Brian Moncani catching, it seems, with every turn now. Brian on the soft tyres, Osman on the mediums. So Brian, can he get in that slipstream? I think he is now in the slipstream. We can see Brian the mechanic is going to get lapped. Brian just cannot get close enough to Osman to challenge him for that P1. Well, this could all come down to the last lap. And as they go through turn 11 and then 12, across the start finish line to start lap 11, and we've just gone past the 13-minute mark, so we were looking about a minute and a half to go, so these guys may well get one more lap in. So Brian Moncani could take this P1 away from Osman. We'll just go down the order very quickly. Unforgiven in third now. Grasshopper is still in fourth. Pete is fifth. Dirk sixth. Then we've got Wayne G. Then Stealth. Ninth is Ruthless. Phaser is 10th with Brian the Mechanic in 11th. So the action really is taking place up at the top. And Brian the Mechanic, if he can get a good exit out of turn 7, which it looks like he did, and get right underneath that rear wing of Osman, he may be able to make a move as they come down towards the chicane. Now Brian the Mechanic, Brian Moncani is doing a fantastic job of now putting the pressure on Osman. He's not going to get the move done now as they follow each other into the chicane. Let's have a look at the time. We have got 30 seconds left, so these two will definitely get one more lap in. So Brian Moncani has got one more lap if he wants to get to P1. And we've got a yellow flag in front, so no overtaking. Now that's not helping Brian Moncani's cause. Now the yellow flag has been cleared, and I'm not going to go and have a look and see what it was. I'm just going to stick with these two. It's Phaser sliding around. He gets out of the way and lets these two race. Let's jump on board with Brian Moncani as we go through turn 5. This is the final lap. Into turn 6 and 7 we go. Oh, and Brian's having a look now up at the inside. It was a late move, but it was a fair move, and he's got himself in front. I don't think Osman was quite expecting that. In fact, let's go back and have another look, shall we? I really don't think Osman was expecting that. But Brian saw the opportunity and he went for it, didn't he? Being on the soft tyres, he can keep a tighter line, and he gets himself up into P1, and what a fantastic move. Brian Moncani up into lead this race. Osman down into second, and I think unless Osman's coming back at Brian now as they go down towards the chicane. Brian's on the inside. Osman, he's going to go round the long way round now. Then who's going to get in there first? Still side by side, and it looks like Brian Moncani has just come out on top. What a fantastic race these two have had, and Brian Moncani, as he comes around turn 12, will take the win. And what a fantastic race that was. Osman in second. Excuse me, Unforgiven is going to cross the line in third. Pete, well, he's had a great race in race 2 and crosses the line in fourth. Was Grasshopper fifth. Dirk is going to come across the line in sixth. Wayne G 7th. Stealth 8th. Ruthless 9th. Brian the Mechanic 10th. And Phaser 11th. Well, what a brilliant finish to race 2. Hopefully you can join me for race 3. And it's going to be a reverse grid. I'll catch you all soon.